In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to turn a finished inked drawing into a blueprint ready for collation. So this is a drawing I just finished inking, and first of all, before I start changing it into a blueprint, I have to make sure that the only visible layers on the drawing are the ones that will be part of this blueprint. So if I check all these layers here, there is one visible layer which I don't want to include in the blueprint, and that's the background. So let's just uncheck it. And everything else will be part of the final version, so this is fine. First, let's make sure that I have only one layer. So merge all the layers I have here. I'm going to merge them into the top layer. It's two ways to do this. One way is to hold down Shift and select them all, right click and say merge visible, or you can go to the layers menu and do the same from there. So I'm just going to merge all the layers, and as you can see, they all collapse into one layer, and that's called as my top layer label. So I'm going to change the name to blueprint to remember what I'm doing. And then since this drawing was created in grayscale, we have to change the drawings, the images mode to RGB color. When it's changed to RGB color, you can see that the file size got a bit larger, but now we are able to change the color from other than any shades of gray. So to add that effect to the blueprint layer that makes it blue, I either can go to find a blending option named color overlay from the bottom menu of the layer panel, or I can just right click on the layer itself and go to blending options, and among blending options you will find the color overlay right here. And as you can see, once it's clicked, it already changes to whatever shade of gray is indicated right here. So there are two things that we have to change. First of all, the blend mode needs to be changed to lighten, and that helps making all the white brush strokes, what we used over the damage area to get the scalpel effect, remain unchanged. And then the other thing we have to change, obviously, is the color. So this color, by hitting this gray panel right here, opens up the color picker, so you can actually change the color. As you can see, as I hover over to, like, let's say this is in the red scale, it's already changing to its color. So you either find the right shade of gray, blue right here from the picker, or you might have the number. I'm going to change it. I actually have a predefined color bar right here, which contains the right shade of blue. And as you can see, if I open it in Photoshop and hover over while the color picker panel is open, hover over this panel, this little eyedropper sign appears over this color, which means that if I hit the screen, then it actually automatically generates this kind of color for my blueprint. So I'm going to use this defined color right here and just hit OK, and now I have the desired color blue. So this is actually the entire process, but there is some certain automation we can add to this process, so when we turn drawings into blueprints in a batch, then we don't have to do the entire sequence over and over again. First of all, we can save this specific color just add them to our swatches, and that means that in the future we don't have to always open up that color panel and find the right shade of blue. This blue will be added to our color swatches. So all we have to do is to hit add to swatches and name it. Let's just say this is called blueprint. So when I hit OK, it's actually automatically added to the swatches. We can check it right here, or go to the window and open swatches, the swatches panel. But if I go over here, I can see that my last color panel became this blueprint color I applied. So every time I want to use this color, it's going to be part of my swatches. Obviously, you don't need to have all of Photoshop's custom colors as part of this set. You can just delete everything else and leave this blue panel here and save it as a special swatch set. So that's one thing. The other thing is that this Thinkwire sequence, which contains two steps. One is that you change the blend mode to light, and the other one is that you add this color blue, is actually called style, and this style can be saved as a sequence of commands and applied over and over again by just hitting one button. I show you how to do it. Now this is our setting, lighten blend mode, the blue for this blue color, and just click on new style and save it as blueprint. Let's say this is a good name for this sequence, and include the layer effects, which would be of course the blend mode change, and include the layer blending mode options, which is how you change it to lighten. So we want to include them both, and just by hitting OK, it's actually saved as a sequence. So let's see where to find it. It's again among the windows can be open. Here you have this window styles, and you can see I don't have any other styles right here in here, but this new style is actually saved in here. So what do we do if we want to apply the style? Let's just hit the back button and go all the way back to the beginning where I had this multi-layered finished drawing, and then do that part where you merge the layers into one layer, call it blueprint, yes, and go to the image. The mode should be RGB color, but now you don't have to add blending modes or change it to blue or anything, but just hit the window, open up styles, and hit this one button. By hitting this one button, it applies this sequence of styles to your drawing, so you end up with the finished product in one step.